Alright, let's dive into this because it's one of those moves that, on the surface, might seem like just another roster shuffle, but personally, I think there's a lot more to unpack here. The Red Sox releasing Joe La Sorsa, a left-hander with a bit of a journeyman story, is one of those decisions that raises a ton of questions. What makes this really interesting is the timing and the context behind it. La Sorsa wasn't exactly a household name, but his path to the Red Sox is a great example of how the upward mobility clauses in minor league deals can shape a player's career. From my perspective, these clauses are underrated in terms of how they can give players a shot at the big leagues, even if it's just a brief one. Here's the deal: La Sorsa started the season with the Pirates on a minor league contract. Toward the end of spring training, he triggered an upward mobility clause, which basically means he was offered to all 29 other teams. No one bit at the time, so he stayed with the Pirates. But then, in late May, he triggered another clause, and the Red Sox stepped in with a cash deal. Now, this is where it gets fascinating. La Sorsa's only appearance for the Red Sox was against the Yankees on June 7. He came in with 2 outs, gave up a home run to Jazz Chisholm Jr., and then struck out Jose Caballero to end the inning. That was it. One appearance, and then he was auctioned to the minors. What many people don't realize is how much pressure that single outing can put on a player, especially when you're trying to prove yourself at the highest level. After that, La Sorsa made 6 appearances in AAA before landing on the injured list with a concussion. And here's where things get murky. His status since then has been unclear, and the Red Sox releasing him now could mean a few things. Maybe they don't expect him to contribute this season, or perhaps they just needed the roster spot. What this really suggests is that the Red Sox are looking ahead, especially since La Sorsa was in his final option year. If you take a step back and think about it, this move could be about creating flexibility for the future, even if it means letting go of a player who's shown promise in the minors. Now, let's talk about La Sorsa's numbers because they are a bit of a head-scratcher. In the big leagues, he's posted a 5.34 ERA over 57 1/3 innings, which isn't great. But in AAA, he's been a completely different pitcher, with a 2.79 ERA over 170 2/3 innings, including a 2.78 ERA this year. A detail I find fascinating is the gap between his major and minor league performance. It raises a deeper question: is he just not cut out for the big leagues, or has he been unlucky in his brief stints? Personally, I think there's more to it than just talent. The pressure of performing in the majors, combined with the limited opportunities he's gotten, could be factors. What's next for La Sorsa? Well, given his AAA success, I'd be surprised if he doesn't land another minor league deal somewhere. But the bigger question is whether he'll ever get another shot at the majors. In my opinion, players like La Sorsa are stuck in this weird middle ground. They're too good for the minors but haven't quite cracked the code for consistent success in the majors. It's a tough spot to be in, and it's a reminder of how brutal the business side of baseball can be. So, what's the takeaway here? For me, this move is less about Joe La Sorsa and more about the broader trends in roster management. Teams are constantly juggling depth, especially with the 40-man roster limit, and sometimes players like La Sorsa get caught in the crossfire. It's a harsh reality, but it's also what makes the game so compelling. As we watch these moves unfold, it's worth remembering that behind every transaction is a player's career, filled with highs, lows, and a lot of uncertainty. What do you guys think? Is this just another roster move, or is there more to it? Let me know in the comments below.